welcome back to my channel. Thanks for watching and subscribing. I really appreciate that. All those little like comments and subscriptions really help the algorithm. So that's really cool. Appreciate that. And this video is going to be about, I want to explain to you guys what I'm going to do with the keel here, because my plan is to cut this keel area out and then actually have like an external cast lead ballast that's going to sit here, rather than, because normally I think with these kind of designs people put the lead on the inside, and I wanted to try something different, like more how a traditional yacht would be done. So in this video I'm going to explain like my thought processes, show you what I'm going to do, and then at the end I'll show you what I've done. Yeah, what I want to do is cut down this line here, cut down the keel there, and then I'll basically have a line like that that's going to go right up to there. I'm going to cut all that off. All this area here, all this area here is going to be cut off, and I'm going to use that. I'm going to still plank it, and I'm going to use that as a mold for when I cast the lead. I'll cast it like in sand, so that'll be used as a mold. So that'll come off. This is what I was talking about. Now we've got a once this is planked, we can use this as a mold when we come to sand cast the lead. This will be planked, and then this will be perfect as a former. And the idea really is I just want to get the maximum weight as lowest down into the boat as possible. So if you imagine if this was all solid, this bit here was all solid lead, then you can have a much better righting moment than if it's partially buoyant with wood and plywood. And one of the other advantages of doing that is that I can, you might be able to get away with a smaller keel casting, so the boat will still have the same righting movement, but the weight of it, the mass of the boat, will be less. So in theory, the acceleration and the sailing characteristics be better. But someone who's I'm only a boat builder, so everything I say you must always take with a grain of salt and check. But that's what my understanding. Yeah, that line there, that's going to be where we're going to cut it. And then we need to fill that bit in with hardwood. Now I bet they don't go in a straight line, do they? They might. It's cut out so high that I'm going to have to go for like a line like this. But this is all very much trial and error. But it's not, it's better to go on the big side. And if I get this wrong, and the keel's too heavy, I can cut the top of this, I can cut some of this lead off and replace it with some like low density wood, like a bit of cedar. And the other way, if it's still not enough, then I can still add more lead from the inside of the boat. So I've got flexibility, so it's not going to be it's not a problem. Nothing to worry about. And get the bevels. So I think it's going to go there. Here I have the hardwood pieces that are glued in between the bulkheads, and this will form the base for where the lead keel gets bolted on. Okay, so you can see, hopefully you can see what I'm trying to achieve now. And there you've got the rudder on the back, end. And this piece here is glued onto the hull. All the planking will cover this end, and I need to cut along here as well. But first I just need to trim. I'm just going to trim some of this excess wood, and then once I do that, then we can cut this piece off. Then you just got to be just a little careful with the way that the grain's going, that you don't chip out chunks of the hardwood. Ideally I should have a smaller chisel, but I didn't bring all my kit from work. Got a little sanding block. And then we just sand. Let's cut this off. I am a little nervous. Gotta go really careful now. Everything's very delicate. Okay, that's the final cut there. And I just got to try and get in here a bit better. My saw doesn't want to go in there. I think that's it. This keel part I'll finish planking and make sure it fits into this space properly, and then we can use that as a mould to cast our lead keel. And then what I'm going to do now is just make sure that this is glued, that all this is okay, and tidy this area up, and maybe put some reinforcing. I might reinforce this back area here a little bit. This might be a good idea to reinforce that. Once all this is planked, then it'll strengthen all this area up. And then when we glass the boat, I'm going to put some unidirectional cloth along this area just to strengthen this area up where the keel is going to sit down on, because at the moment you've just got like little segments, and that's not the best thing. But it will have planks. You are going to have planks running across there that's going to strengthen the sides up. So yeah, that's the beginning of the keel mod. Yeah, so far what I've done is I cleaned up this bottom edge here. This is all clean, ready to go. Tidy everything up. I did do some reinforcements, a little bit of hardwood on this back edge there. I did do some reinforcement there. I put a little hardwood and a couple of bits of cedar running along there, because that'll give me, like I did run along there, because that'll give me a nice good land for this planking there. And then I've got this piece that goes on there now, and that's going to be the base of the mold, the lead mold. And here is the bit I cut off. That goes there, but I need to chop off 10 mil off the bottom of each one, because you can see at the moment you can see here it's it's about a 10-12 mil 2 tool. So I've got to chop them off, glue that on. And then I need to make a little another bulkhead piece. So this has a back, but let's do that now. See, that's why I want to cut them. And this small saw that I've got here. Ah, no, it will. It fits. Okay, now we're cool. We're still in the game. That's one. Something went broke. Okay, so here I am. I'm just gluing on the old bit of the keel that I cut off, and I'm just using some super glue in the place there, making sure it's all strong. And this gets glued onto the new hardwood piece, and this just will eventually form the mold for when I cast the keel. And there I'm just gluing in some extra supports just to make it stronger before it gets planked. That'll be bolted through here like a normal keel. Like I said before, the only thing I wish I did is I put this join line more like horizontal or facing forward a little bit, but I was governed by the shapes of, you can just see here the shapes of the formers, and I didn't really want to modify them. And last night I nearly did like cut that off and put that horizontal, but then in the end I thought, no, if the boat is, when the water is leaning too far aft, then I can use this space here to put some lead to keep it forward. And if it's too heavy doing that, I'll just have to chop off a little bit of the back of the lead here and then add a bit of wood and glass over it. So this is the first one I've done, and it's all a bit of a learning curve at this stage, so it's fine. I'm happy with that. The second one will be better, and I'll do it differently. But I don't want to start chopping into this, and I didn't design this frame kit. So if I was going to do this again, I would definitely keep these cutouts here further down, so then I could, you know, put this join more horizontal, and I'd put more like design and thought into it. This is just like a kit mod, so I'm kind of governed by what I've got in a way. But yeah, that's the process so far. Just got to carry on planking now.